in your first and last name and your position here?
I'm Juan Guerrero. I'm the Director of the Public Utilities Department.
And how long have you actually been working for the Public Utilities Department?
I've been working for the Public Utilities Department in various roles over the past 7.5 years, and I've been the Director for the past 1.5 years.
Okay, so I'm just going to get straight to it. We keep doing stories on this 2018 audit. Here we are in 2023, and we are still dealing with some of the same issues that were addressed 5 years ago. Why is it taking so long to resolve these issues?
Right, that's a great question. And the 2018 audit had 10 recommendations. 8 of the recommendations are already implemented. The final 2 recommendations are substantially complete. We have been working with the Department of IT to work on the most recent challenge, which is obviously customers not receiving a letter before their bills are held. Unfortunately, our Department of IT and our team have been working on that solution for the past several months, and we're going to be ready to start sending letters out to customers by the end of September next month. So we're excited about that progress. But one of the biggest challenges we had since the audit, we did our own internal assessment of our operations, and what we found was systemic issues throughout our billing and customer service operations. And a new management team was put into place to completely overhaul our customer service and billing operations. So while right now we have a significant amount of work to do that we're focused on right now, there's been a lot of work done since 2018 to address some of those issues. One of the examples is when we did the assessment, we found that a lot of our customer service representatives weren't trained or empowered to help our customers when they received a phone call or when they called in and our customer service representatives answered the phone. They were really focused on volume of calls, answer the calls, keep things moving, but they wouldn't necessarily resolve the issue. So what they did was they'd refer the issue to a peer or a supervisor who was more familiar with the fix, but they weren't able to resolve the issue. So that was frustrating to our customers. And we felt that there was a real need to train and empower our team. So we started really focusing on, when the new management team was really focusing on this comprehensive overhaul of our operations, we said, let's focus on achieving first call resolution. So when our customers call and reach a customer service representative, they're able to address it on the spot. So we looked at the training material, and what we found was training varied. It wasn't standardized. The training differed based on who was providing the training. So we started to say, okay, well, let's look into the processes and find out what processes are there. And when they looked at the processes, they weren't documented. It was all in people's minds. So they started to document the processes and procedures, and as the management team documented the processes, what they found was a lot of steps in the processes weren't necessary. So it was making the process more convoluted, less efficient. So they started improving the processes. Once the processes were improved and we documented all of these processes, which there are a lot of, then we were able to develop a training program that we would then use to train our customer service representatives. And once that training program was established and our customer service representatives were ready to handle these calls, then we achieved that first call resolution goal, which was really helpful. So now our customers are able to reach a customer service representative, and on most occasions, that person's able to address their issue on the spot. And that's a success, so we're really happy about that. But we know there's a lot of work to do moving forward. We still have a lot of challenges that we're going to continue to focus on. So I'll stop there and see if you have any other questions. But what I wanted to get across was some of these issues are very complex, and when the audit was created and we did our own assessment, we were hopeful that we'd be able to get through things fairly quickly. But what we found was once we started peeling back the onion, we realized that each one of these challenges were really complex.
One of the biggest issues affecting your customers, our viewers right now, is people not getting their bills being held for investigations, and then they get them all at once for a massive amount. They're not being notified, so it comes as a shock. And I think the biggest question for people goes, again, back to these were issues that were noted in that audit in 2018. How can it take 5 years not to put a system in place, a computer program in place that at least sends an email, or have people put things on someone's door to say, hey, your bill is being held up? I mean, explain that in simple terms. I know it's very complex, but why should it take 5.5 years or longer? Because this audit actually looked at 2016 and 2017.
Right. So first of all, I want to apologize to our customers who haven't received any notification before their bills were held. That's not our intent. It was identified previously. One of the biggest challenges we've had is because of the comprehensive overhaul that's needed to take place in those functions, we had to prioritize things and work through things really methodically. One of the challenges in the past is being reactive to whatever the issue is of the day, and we might move quickly to resolve the issue over the short term, but what this management team's been really committed to doing is taking our time to methodically work through all the issues. And we really started with the people part and getting our staff really trained appropriately so they can handle issues. And in parallel, we were working on some of the IT improvements. There were a lot of enhancements that needed to be made. But again, it was 10 recommendations, and within each recommendation, there were so many different things to address. So we've been working through those, and the last 2 recommendations from that specific audit are substantially complete. We've been working with the Department of IT and the city auditors, so we should have those completed within the next few months. But again, it was the volume of all these challenges that we're working through.
Okay, so that's why there was no immediate fix, because I think some people think, well, if it's an IT issue, just get that computer program in place and make it happen. Call other cities that are the same size as San Diego and find out, what program do you use? So I think it's hard for customers to really understand, okay, I understand there's IT issues, but 5 years worth, it just seems like a lot.
Right, and again, it goes back to the volume of issues and prioritizing and working through each one of the issues. One of the challenges that we have is we talk a lot about aging infrastructure. Well, our aging infrastructure includes our IT solutions, and some of our IT solutions just aren't up to current standards and aren't modernized like we'd like. And what we've been working towards is replacing our call center software system. The previous one, which was called Aspect, is one that we're moving away from, and we're moving into one provided by Amazon. It's called Amazon Connect, and we really feel like this new call center software is going to give us a lot more flexibility. The challenge with some of the older software systems is they were very customized to our specific operation. And there were multiple software systems that are standardized throughout the city that had to work together. So we have these older software systems that are fully customized, that need to work together seamlessly. And then on top of that, we have over 280,000 customer accounts. So when we work through each one of these enhancements, we currently have 40 enhancements that are in the queue. When we work through each one of these, they have to work seamlessly within that system, between systems, and then with the 280,000 accounts. So it takes, and we don't want to go live with something before it's ready. We really want to be careful and make sure this thing's ready, so it has to be tested. We have to find any kinks ahead of time, and then if we do find kinks, we need to make improvements. We've been really methodical about making sure we don't go live with anything unless it's fully ready and fully baked, so it doesn't compound any other issues.
So it's not as easy as flipping a switch.
Exactly. We've all asked that question numerous times, is can't we just flip the switch, just send the letter? But unfortunately, the systems are just too complex.
Did you ever think about maybe just posting something on the homepage of your website saying, hey, if you haven't received a bill in a while, this might be why? You know, some sort of alert on there, or think of other ways aside from IT to alert customers, you know, door hangers, something like that?
Yeah, we are working on that right now as part of the automated solution, or other avenues where we're going to share this information and communicate with our customers. You know, really with the big overhaul and what we've done over the past 4 years, was focusing on the people part. Now we've gotten to this point where our customer service representatives are able to resolve the calls at the first point of contact. We've gotten a lot of feedback from our customers. It's really positive that once they are able to get a hold of our customer service reps, that they're really happy with the service they received. The issue that we ran into earlier this year was call wait times. And so we really started looking at, okay, well, what are the challenges? How do we resolve this issue? And what we found was every action that one of our customers needs from the Public Utilities Department requires a customer service representative to help them with it. There are no options that are automated or available online for customers to go in and use without having to call in our call center. So the team found that, okay, the highest volume of calls we get are requests to start and stop service. If we can find a way to automate that system or make it available to customers online instead of through the call center, then that would drastically reduce the number of phone calls we get to the call center. So we implemented what's known as web forms. And what web forms does is on our web page, customers are able to go to the web page and enter all the required information to make that change. The good thing is customers have time. They don't have to wait on a phone to find out what information is needed. And they're able to enter the information, and then on the back end, our customer service representatives receive complete information, so it doesn't require 2 or 3 phone calls to finally get everything you need.
Okay, you can pick that up.
Okay.
Going back to the customer service element, and that was kind of the main priority to start with, I know that a lot of your issues date back to a shortage of employees, just like a lot of companies dealt with, especially over the last 3 years. What have you done to resolve that, and how many open positions do you still have?
So we've done a lot of work to resolve that. Some of the things we've done is we opened up continuous recruitment for our customer service representatives. That's been extremely helpful to keep the process moving. It is a fairly entry-level position for a lot of people within the city, so there tends to be some movement. So it was important for us to be proactive with our recruitment efforts. On top of that, recruitment efforts citywide, there's been a lot of work done with compensation enhancements and the pension being returned to employees. That's really helped us be competitive in a very competitive labor market. So we have seen some improvement with our staffing levels, but we still have room to fill more positions and get everybody trained. We really feel like the solutions of technology and automating a lot of these services are going to give us better bang for our buck over the long term, because the less we need customer service representatives to handle some of the more remedial things that we all expect from companies through apps or web pages. If we can get ourselves back up to speed with technology, then that'll really free up our customer service representatives to handle more complex challenges.
Do you know how many open positions you currently have?
What is it, 5?
Approximately 10
Approximately 10 right now.
in that classification.
In that classification.
Okay, 10.
10 out of roughly 50.
About 50, yes.
About 50.
Okay. So this billing issue, there is a fix. The fix is hopefully coming in September, correct?
Yes.
In the meantime, how many customers' bills kind of fall into that category that are being held up and they're getting these massive amounts? Do we know the percentage? We were told maybe 10% of the 280,000?
We have those numbers. I don't know them off the top of my head.
10%. Okay. So in the meantime, before the fix comes in September, what is being done to address those 28,000 households?
So we're going to be looking at what we call our backlog of bills that are held, to really look through them systematically, along with going live at the end of the month with sending letters to customers when their bills are held. We're also going to be going live with our new call center software, Amazon Connect. And so what that's going to do is allow our customer service representatives to really address things more effectively and efficiently, and it's going to give our customers more options. But with bills being held, what we want to do is look at the backlog and look at what's a manageable frequency to really start rolling these out and resolving them. We have a lot of bills to investigate and a limited number of staff to investigate the backlog. So we want to look at what's a very manageable and systematic approach to addressing all of those over time and getting through those and past those for our customers' benefit more than ours, but also to get us on track moving forward with addressing things more proactively. Another operation that we've been looking at is the thresholds that were used by our system to hold bills are very outdated. They were set years ago, and our team looked at, well, what are those thresholds and are they reasonable? So they recently, last April, there are two thresholds that are looked at. One of the thresholds is the amount of money a customer owes, whether it's unusually high or unusually low, or the amount of water they've consumed, which could either be unusually high or unusually low. Back in April, we right-sized the threshold to a more reasonable number for the dollar amount that was owed, and we've seen an 83% reduction in bills being held, which is going to be extremely helpful for both us and our customers. So we're really focusing on those true outliers. With water quantity, we just implemented, changed our thresholds last month, and we're really looking forward to seeing what kind of impact that has. So generally, we should see a reduction in the amount of bills being held and better communication going out to customers when their bills are held.
As you know, we've done several stories on customers whose bills have been held, and we've explained why their bills are held. One of the main questions people want to know, or one of the questions people have is, why hold a bill for so long? 1, 2, 3 months, okay, I understand that. But then you're getting into 12, 13, 14 months or even longer. Why hold a bill for that long?
Well, the bill's held for that long because the issue hasn't been investigated or resolved yet. So that's why going through the backlog and really focusing on a systematic approach to getting through those is going to be so critical, so we can get past all of that, all of those old things. And again, while we're doing this systematic overhaul of our customer service and billing operations over the past few years, we're still running a utility. So, as we're working through these improvements, we're running a live operation. So it really takes time to get through everything. And now that we're here, which is exciting because our teams have achieved so much over the years, we're at a point now where we really need to focus on this issue, and we really need to work through that. Last spring, the big focus was call wait times. Now it's bills being held, and we want to continue to focus on all of these things and continue to improve our operations. We have a new management team that was put in place back in 2019, and this team's fully committed to seeing this stuff through. And we're excited to see successes, but we're well aware that we still have a long way to go, and we're looking forward to continuing to work through those.
On this bill issue, some people have told us when they have noticed their bills haven't come, A, they weren't notified, but B, they go online and see a zero account balance. Why is that, and is that being fixed?
Well, from what I understand, the zero balance is because there's no bill being sent, right? Yeah.
Okay.
So the $0 account balance is really there because they haven't been billed yet. We have seen the system and our processes saw an outlier, basically, that suggests maybe there's a leak, maybe there was a misread, maybe there's excessive usage. Something's going on here that we really need to look at before we just send a bill that could potentially be inaccurate. So in their records, they don't have a bill yet. It's still $0 until they get billed.
Okay, but part of the fix would be perhaps they could go online and there might be a note there to say, hey, your bill is being held. That might be part of the IT fix you mentioned?
Yeah, we could look at that. We could
Okay.
definitely look at that.
Okay, because again, I mean, I'm not an IT person, but I would think to put just something on the front page of your home screen to say, if you haven't received a bill, it could be because of this, would be an easy fix.
Yeah, I think that would be an easy fix, and I think it's a really good suggestion.
So at this point, do you have, I mean, there's been a lot of attention on public utilities lately. Do you have any regrets?
No regrets. Me personally, or
Just in the
for
way
the
things have been
department?
run, or maybe
Yeah.
we should have come and spoken out sooner, or maybe we should have done this differently? I mean,
Yeah.
is there any regrets on behalf of whether it be yourself or the department as a whole?
From the communication standpoint specifically,
Exactly.
or anything? Yeah, I think, and it's something that we are looking at. We feel that we need to communicate a little bit more frequently with our customers and let them know what we're working on, what we're doing, and where we're going. So we're going to be working on that following these recent discussions. To get more proactive with that, we got to get in front of our customers more often and let them know what's going on. Our team are working tirelessly for the community, and we need to share that with them, what we're doing, why we're doing it, and what the benefits are. We run one of the largest utilities, water utilities in the state of California, and wastewater utilities under the same umbrella, and our team does a lot of really good work. We ensure that our residents get clean, safe drinking water delivered to their houses 365-day, 24/7. And with that, we transport sewage from the community to a safe place, to our treatment plants. We're running the Pure Water program and fundamentally changing the way San Diegans get their water, as the Colorado River is diminishing over time. So we're working on a lot of really big things that we're really proud of, and I think our customers should feel confident that we're going to take care of the community with water and wastewater needs. We just need to really focus on these billing challenges and get through them. We have a lot of work to do, and we know it, and we're going to keep hammering away and hopefully making a lot of progress within the next month or two, and then moving forward through the years.
Are you confident the department can resolve all these issues?
Yes, absolutely. We have, beyond this current challenge with bills being held and the thresholds and all of those things, we're going to have the call center that's been under development for 4 years. There's been a lot of different kinks that needed to be worked on, and we're ready to go live. We're confident with where it is. We're ready to go live at the end of September, and I think that's going to be a huge milestone, and our customers will notice some differences there. Beyond that, we're actually working with Deloitte and Salesforce and our IT department and performance and analytics department to develop a customer portal that allows customers to do a lot more autonomously through this customer portal, and it'll also automate the updates to our system, so we don't have customer service representatives doing the changes in the background. So that's going to improve call wait times. It's going to improve customers' ability to control their own destiny in their accounts and update things in real time and really get us up to speed. So I think as we continue to develop these things and invest in our infrastructure, invest in these improvements, and invest in our employees, I think we're going to see a lot of improvement over the next few years.
You're confident in your staff and the improvements you're making, but can customers trust the Public Utilities Department?
Absolutely. Customers can trust the Public Utilities Department with the quality of our water that we send them every day. The wastewater services that we serve every day. We operate and maintain a vast water and wastewater system, 9 reservoirs, 3 water treatment plants, thousands of miles of pipelines, ocean outfalls. We manage a lot of facilities really well. And we want our customers to feel confident about what we're doing. And specifically with the billing issue, we also want them to feel confident that we have been doing a lot of work. We have an entirely new management team on board. They were placed on board to carry through this overhaul. It's taken a lot more time than any of us would have hoped, but it's for very concrete reasons, because we want to make sure the fixes are done well and they're behind us all, instead of doing short-term fixes that then become worse later. We really want to fix things properly. So they should feel confident in us, trust us. Our biggest focus is on serving our community. We have that on our minds all the time, and we're really focused on that and transparency. So we really look forward to communicating more with the community and sharing more of our progress moving forward.
So moving forward, I'm just looking at some of my questions here. I think, I think it's important to keep going back to paraphrasing why it's taken so long, because when I interviewed the city auditor, per protocol, any audit they do, they check in with the department in question every 6 months. So
Right.
for 5 years, every 6 months, about 10 times, they've come back to you and said, what's going on with this? What's going on with this?
Right.
So this isn't an issue that you've ignored. This has literally been something you've been working on consistently for this amount of time?
Exactly, yes. We have been working on it, and we've been communicating with the city auditors. Every 6 months we go back and report on our progress with them. But we also work with them on a regular basis on not just the recommendations, but the intent of the recommendations to work through solutions that really make sense. Instead of just getting caught up in the immediate detail, as things evolve and as we learn more, as we go through these systematic changes, we work with them on, hey, does this seem reasonable? This is what we're thinking. Does that meet the intent of the recommendation? So we work in lockstep with the city auditors and the Department of IT on a lot of these things. And again, 8 of the 10 recommendations are already complete. The last 2 are substantially complete, and they're going to be completed here within the next several months. One of them being sending the letter out, which will obviously be completed at the end of next month.
Now, you obviously came into this role as director after these issues already existed, but do you share in the frustration of your customers?
Absolutely. Our management team lives it every day, you know, and it's our mission to fix it. We have worked through not just the aging infrastructure and billing operational challenges. We have aging infrastructure across the board that we're working through. We have dams that need a lot of attention and replacement, and it's going to require a lot of investment. We have pump stations that require a significant amount of modernization and investment. We have the Pure Water program, which phase 1 is currently under construction, and it's 30% complete. We have so many things going on, and there's only so many people on the planet with this skill set, so we're trying to develop a workforce to really help us out. These billing things are critical. They're very important. We totally understand the frustration and feel the same frustration as our customers with this operation, because it should be in a better place by now. It should have been in a better place for the past few decades. But what we're doing is playing catch up, a significant amount of catch up in a really compressed time frame. So, you know, we're trying to stay vigilant. It's challenging our endurance, but we're game for it, and we're really looking forward to making these changes.
And I think hearing you speak about all the things you have going on, I think it paints a bigger picture that for the customer, they think all public utilities does is provide water and then the billing. So that's why they say, why is this taking so long? But it sounds like as a department, you have so much going on that this is one factor in the grand scheme of things.
It is a priority, and it's something that we've definitely prioritized, and we're going to continue to treat it as a priority moving forward. And yes, there are a lot of other critical infrastructure needs. Hodges Dam, for example, needs to be completely replaced. Meanwhile, we're focusing on the Pure Water program, which is a $1.4 billion construction project that's going to fundamentally change the way San Diegans get their water. Along with that, we have other reservoirs that are going to need a lot of work. We have a very robust pipeline replacement program where we replace our pipelines systematically. We target 40 miles every year to replace our over 3,000 miles of pipes, water pipes, and then 3,000 miles of sewer pipes. And that's reduced the amount of sewer spills and water main breaks from roughly 200 to 300 in the early 2000s down to 20 to 30 currently. So all of these investments really need to be made because there are noticeable improvements. Sometimes it takes a while to get there. So we ask everybody to be patient, but continue to communicate with us. Let us know what improvements you really think are made. Our customer service reps will share that with us, and we'll keep focusing on things. But yeah, it's frustrating that something that should be so simple and straightforward isn't. But we're gonna make sure that happens.
What's your message to customers right now whose bills are currently being held, or customers who have received one of these massive bills? What do you tell them?
I apologize to them for the operations that we're working diligently to improve. Fortunately, we're going to have at the end of September letters going out to customers to notify them more proactively. It's not a good practice. You don't change the operations without notifying the public. So that's a clear need to change, and it's been a clear need to change. But we're finally getting there, which is great. And we're going to continue to focus on that moving forward. So going through the bills that people receive, the good thing about when people do receive the big bills, it's not a good situation, but our customer service representatives are empowered to work with those customers on billing options. We're not penalizing them. Obviously, it was our operations that impacted the volume, the number in the bill. So we're willing to work with them on payment plans. There's no interest, no fees, nothing to penalize them. So we're willing to work with them at any case. We know it's not an ideal situation. We apologize, and we're going to work with them to work through it and hopefully prevent it.